All right, what's going on, guys? It's GSR here. So I'm going to use Liu Kang and Sindel for this example. So this is going to be understanding spacing. So spacing is actually pretty strong if you know how to apply correctly in a match. You will eventually go against more experienced opponents that know how to utilize this correctly, and they can make it very difficult for you to hit them. And that's part of the power of spacing, is that it can make you very difficult to hit. But not only that, it can change your frame data depending on how minus you are. You can become plus, you can become zero on block to where you two go back into the neutral state. If you're like -10, you might become -9 or -8. You can make a -10 situation -8. You can make a minus like 18 situation, possibly -16 or something like that, which that's not good, but you get where I'm coming from with that, right? So learning how to do this can make it very useful for you. You know what I'm saying? And you know, there are characters in this game that specialize with spacing, that revolve around spacing, you know, to get shit going, right? Now you have to also understand that there are mind games that can be played depending on how safe the opponent is on block, because they can go for certain options to counter certain options that you try to do, and you can go for certain options to counter certain options that they try to do, if they do try to go for like an Abari attempt or something along those lines, right? So we're going to use Sindel's back two, right? So her back two is -17 on block, right? So we can test out what we can do with Liu Kang to see, like, you know, if we can punish her or not. Now, when you're using a character with short range normals like Liu Kang standing 1, standing 2, standing 4, standing 3, back 1, back 3 and shit like that, his normals are incredibly short range, right? So keep this in mind. Now, it's not necessarily impossible for you to go for a punish with Liu Kang, because in this matchup, her going for that back two, it's not going to fly with Liu Kang, because Liu Kang has like options. You know, he has the appropriate responses to counter her or punish her every single time she goes for that. So in this matchup, the Sindel player has to understand that this is not gonna fly, like especially against a very experienced Liu Kang player that knows about this matchup a bit. Like, they're not just gonna let you keep doing that shit to them, especially in close range engagements, because when she spaces this out, it makes it more difficult for Liu Kang to go for any normal, so he would have to go for a physical special move. So basically 1-2 is not gonna work, forward 4 is not gonna work, back 1's not gonna work, standing 2 is not gonna work. So here's the thing: if your character has the range, they could potentially hit the opponent, but if it doesn't have the correct startup time to beat the block advantage, you might not even get the punish anyway. Also, your short normals may have the correct startup time, but because they're short normals, they don't have the correct range to punish that particular situation that the opponent puts you in on block. So keep that in mind. Now, Liu Kang can go for his 16 frame back 3, and he can punish her every single time she does this at close range engagements. Now, another thing you can do is, if you dash up, you want to do like an instant dash forward, and you want to time this correctly, and you can actually go for his 1-2. You can actually go for his Chinese warrior string if you time it correctly, and as you can clearly see here, Sindel will get punished and Liu Kang will always hit her, right? You can go for, you know, the flying dragon kick. You can go for his classic bicycle kicks as well. You know what I'm saying? So this can be extremely useful for you if you're being a smart player, you know, and you want to close the round out. This is actually really good, because the problem that the opponent's going to face in this matchup is the fact that, like, Liu Kang can literally just be like, game over, bitch. You know what I'm saying? And then just end it just like that. You know what I'm saying? Also, he could potentially go for like a crushing blow throw type situation. You know, because the opponent's going to be anticipating that, oh, okay, well, he's going to like go for like, you know, a combo string, right? And if you know for a fact that this is going to kill them, right? And you don't have enough meter or something like that. Like, you got to pay attention to all that shit so that way you have the appropriate response to end that round or whatever the case may be. Now, what happens if she ends up spacing this out even more, right? So I'm gonna move up just a little bit. So as you can clearly see, if she spaces this out even more, I mean, look at the, hold on, I'm gonna do that again because I don't like the fact that she keeps doing that. Okay, so I'm gonna hold it. Okay, so if she spaces it out even more, look at the range. Like, look at the distance here, right? And in Street Fighter, you'll notice this a lot because in Street Fighter, spacing and playing neutral and footsies is ideal in that game. Like, if you ain't got none of that, I mean, you ain't gonna make it far. I'm just being real, right? Also, you can also flawless block this, but I'll talk about that in another video of what you can do to punish this with different characters and stuff if you guys would like to see that. So as you can clearly see, this would be Liu Kang's response, because if he was a dash up, he's not going to be able to reach her with any of his physical normals or anything like that. So his appropriate response would be to go for this or a reversal fatal blow, and this is Liu Kang's response. So his main response when she spaces this out, at least this is just my opinion from what I've labbed so far, because I haven't labbed in this game in such a long time, is it's going to be his flying dragon kick. You can test this out in the corner if you want. It's really up to you, because since you ain't got nowhere else to go, this could reduce the pushback. Now, here's another thing. If you're using a character that has range, I mean, it's a lot easier for you to punish Sindel. I mean, it's significantly easier for you to punish Sindel if you're using a character that has range and has the correct startup time. A prime example is like Johnny Cage. I can go for like my 4-3-4-4, which is like 14 frames, or my forward 4, which is 14 frames, and I could punish her every single time. I can even dash up and go for my 1-2-1 or my standing 2-4-4 and punish her. If she spaces it out even more, I can go for my shadow kick, and that would be my response like every single time. I might be able to dash up or instant dash up and go for my 4-3-4-4, but because it's 14 frames on startup, it might be difficult to do that. We'll go with the Joker this time, right? And then we'll go with like Melina, and then that'll be the video. So like I said, spacing is incredibly important to learn, because it can make you more difficult to hit. So say for example, okay, she is blocking. I do this forward 2 right here. See how like Joker is like 0 on block? I should have picked a darker map. Let me back up to it because I don't know if you guys can see that. Son of a bitch. Are you serious? So see how like he's 0 on block? Now, if you were to space this out, right, and I'll talk about this in another video as well, is like understanding the range of your normals and how to occupy space with these normals and stuff like that. But if I was to space this normal out, right, I'll have her stance hold so that way it's more real. As you can clearly see, his hitbox is not right there. But if you space this out, he becomes plus on block, right? I just got to find the right fucking... There it is. So as you can clearly see, right, he becomes significantly plus on block. I mean, you know, not significantly, but it changes his frame data dramatically, where now he has plus frames to work with, right? So this is actually a really, really good normal. You understand what I'm saying? So like if she was to do this right against Joker, it's not gonna go well because he could just stand there and be like, are you stupid? And then, you know, just lost 37% of your health, and you can go for a more optimal combo. You'll have characters that will have spacing already like on them. And what I mean by already on them, I mean like they'll have a combo string where there's like a gap between the both of you. So like a perfect example of this, right, would be Sub-Zero. I'll just use Sub-Zero for this example, right? So Sub-Zero's 1-2 and his 2-1, I think. Even his back 2-1 or back 3-1, I think it is. Yeah, back 3-1. No, it's back 3-2. Yeah, your boy is rusty out this bitch. But anyway, so his 1-2 is 0 on block, and like as you can clearly see, right? Like I'll do it at close range. This is the distance right here, and then if you notice, I have even more distance by like an inch, I think. So yeah, with this one, I don't think it's gonna be that effective spacing it out all the way, because it's like the second hit be whiffing and shit. But as you can clearly see, right, like there are characters that will have situations like this. Hell, even the back one creates a spacing situation, which is a poke. And if you notice, he's -2 on block, but the moment you start spacing it out, he starts to become safer on block, right? He's -1 now. If I can space it out even more, yeah, now he's 0 on block. His back three is hold up. His back three is -4. Let's see here. Still -4, so I don't think his frame data changes on this one. I don't think. I think it does. Yeah, I don't think it does. Also, this can apply with pokes as well if you space them out. So like he's -9, and now he's -8. So keep all of this in mind. So hopefully this video helped you guys out a bit. So you can clearly see there's a gap there, but he's -8. This is a very close range normal. So see the distance here compared to this. So -17. So we're gonna see what we can do here. So that's not gonna work. But if I go for that version, it actually works. Huh, that's weird. Why is that version not working? It says 13 frames, but this version's working. Maybe it's because they, okay, interesting. So her forward one, you can actually use to work with that. Obviously, this is not going to work. So Melina doesn't really have a lot to work with in terms of like punishing Sindel. So like if Sindel wanted to in this matchup, it's, you know, it's I mean, she'll still get punished at close range, but the moment she starts spacing this shit out, that's the moment when like she can't really be punished, as you can clearly see against Melina. Melina would have to find a way to get in, and as you can clearly see, like if she starts spacing this out, this becomes a problem, which means that you would have to read like if the opponent's going to go for that back two, right? Like you can kind of hop up, you know what I'm saying, and then go for the punish, or you could flawless block and then make her more minus on block, right? This is another thing which I was going to talk about in another video, but as you can clearly see now, I can punish her. So characters with short range normals and shit like that, you're more than likely going to have to hop, or you're going to have to make her whiff, or you're gonna have to flawless block her. And if your Fatal Blow has range and the correct startup time, you more than likely can punish this situation if she decides to space it out. Hopefully this video was helpful. This video is going on way too fucking long. I need to get some sleep. But I love each and every last one of you guys. Hopefully you guys are being safe out there. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.